Welcome back to my journey through the AWS SysOps Admin Associate Level Certification Training journey. After reviewing the exam guide, I spent some time on the landing page for the certification on the AWS website, and one thing that surprised me was the amount of free resources that they have that you can use to prepare for the exam. Coming from the CompTIA exams that I've recently taken, it was very refreshing because most preparation materials that you need for that are paid materials, and I'm sure you could find enough free ones to pass, but it would be a lot more time consuming. So the fact that AWS does that is nice. So after reviewing some of those, I opted to start with the AWS Skill Builder course, AWS Technical Essentials. So far, I have just completed Module 1, and that is the most general of overviews you could possibly get. It's talking about what AWS is, what cloud computing is, a little bit of information on identity and access management, and a lot of that is basic, especially if you've been working in technology for any amount of time. So I didn't get too much out of that, but it was good to learn some of the language that they use at Amazon, such as the availability zones are clusters of data centers, and then regions are clusters of availability zones, and just learning how those are dispersed throughout the globe. The considerations for what availability zone and region to choose were also good ones, namely compliance, whether you have any legal requirements, latency, putting applications close to your users, pricing. It makes sense, but depending on what region you're in and local taxes and such, the prices will be different. And then service availability. Some services are not available in all regions, which again is interesting, but it does make sense. The final things that stood out were the shared responsibility models, and just how they break down who's responsible for what in the management of security in the cloud. They break it down very simply. AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud, meaning the physical data centers, the hardware, all of that, and then the customer is responsible for security in the cloud, such as their virtual machines, patching, and things of that nature. Again, the rest was just general overview. Identity and access management, that was nothing new to me. A lot of their best practices seem to mirror that of the Microsoft Active Directory. You have users and groups and OUs, and best practices are to apply permissions to groups rather than to specific users so that you can manage and scale that more easily. So not too much new or interesting or exciting, I should say, in Module 1, but Module 2 seems like it'll start exploring some of the instances and services, so I look forward to getting into that, and I will report back once Module 2 is completed. Later.